Good evening and welcome to the Village Board meeting for the Village of Pleasantville. Today is Monday, March 28. If you're watching live on Monday, March 28, we encourage you to call in if you have comments or questions. Our call-in number is 769-1677. As always, you can watch us live on Verizon or Cablevision Cable TV or at pctv76.org. And within a couple of days, you can pick up an on-demand webcast of this or any past board meeting at pctv76.org. Our next meeting is the annual organizational meeting, which is a once-a-year legally required event. This year, there is no election, so we have no swearing-in ceremony. But nonetheless, the organizational meeting will occur a week from today on Monday, April 4 at 7 p.m. Then our next regular meeting is on Monday, April 11 at 8 p.m. with a work session at 7. And I'm correct, Patty, that Monday, April 11 is our budget presentation.
Yes, public hearing on the budget.
So we've been in the midst in work session and working over the budget, and in fact started today at 6:30 working with Jeff Econom, our Superintendent of Public Works, and after this meeting we'll continue with a work session with Joni Ehrlich, our Director of Senior Programs, so working our way through each piece of the budget, which we anticipate will be finalized in the month of April, and then we will vote on it before the end of April. So a couple of announcements to make. The first is, we made this announcement before, but it's getting more imminent. As many of you have already read in the Examiner or seen in our email blasts, the State Department of Transportation is undertaking a significant capital project on the Sawmill River Parkway, rebuilding two sections of bridge that hold up the roadway. The result of that is starting on April 10, Sunday night, April 10, the Sawmill Parkway will be entirely closed in both directions between Grant Street and Marble Avenue between the hours of 9 p.m. and 6 a.m. on Sunday night through Thursday night. That closing will not happen on Friday or Saturday nights, but Sunday through Thursday for quite an extended period of time, beginning April 10, a week and a half from now, through approximately July 1. The sawmill will be closed every night from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. On weeknights. So when that happens, the detour will send people down Grant Street through Memorial Plaza to Marble Avenue to get back on the sawmill southbound in exact reverse for people who are headed northbound. The traffic numbers based on the traffic counts the DOT has given us are not all that scary, but nonetheless it will be a complicated period of time. In the course of the summer there is an even bigger detour, more on that later, but everyone who lives anywhere in the region should have received this postcard in the mail that reminded everybody of that detour, and that postcard also has on it a website as well as a phone number. If you need to get further information, you can go to www.dot.ny.gov/projects and search for the project. I think you can search for it by name, but you can also type in ID number, which is 8B as in boy, 0W. .OH, or you can call 914-666-2702. So, Patty, can we get that up on our website as well, this data,
Yes.
the website, a clickable link as well as the phone number? So if anyone has any questions, the DOT website is a good source of information. So the next few months will have some evening challenges, to say the least, but when all is said and done, the sawmill will be rebuilt in a somewhat better position. So a couple of other announcements I wanted to make. We met just a moment ago in work session with a representative of Bedford Road Partners, which is a group of investors who have gotten together and entered into a contingent contract with the Methodist Church to revive the idea of an assisted living proposal on the site to the left of the church, up where the Christmas trees are stacked. As you doubtless recall, that was the subject of a proposal by an entity called Benchmark about a year and a half ago that was not in the end approved. A new assisted living proposal has been made, and we are waiting to get a formal application from the applicant, at which point the process will become clear. We had a straw poll of the board, and a majority has agreed to accept the application, so we'll have lots more to say about that if and when that application arrives. A couple of other general announcements to make, one of which is this coming weekend, this first Saturday in April, is the move for the farm market, moving from indoors at the middle school. Thank you to the school district for providing a winter home base for the Westchester's best farm market. So back outside, it'll be a little bit of a slow ramp up. All the vendors back, but programming and music and all of that will start a little bit later in the spring. But this Saturday, the farm market is back outside. I also wanted to mention that last week we had a ribbon cutting for an old/new business in the village of Pleasantville. The Chamber of Commerce organizes these events, and I am pleased to participate. It was at the Pleasantville Diner, which has been a fixture in the village of Pleasantville since back in the 30s. And as many of you know, Jack Marutzis and his family have owned the diner for many, many years. Jack passed away a few months ago, and his family has sold the diner to Phil DeRafla, who has made some interior modifications and has some further ones to plan. He has revised the menu a bit and rolled out a brand new menu. And so we had a ribbon cutting at the Pleasantville Diner just this past week. Anybody who wanted to hear more about that can pick up an on-demand webcast of the ribbon cutting at pctv76.org. And then two other things to note. The folks at Sustainable Westchester have entered into a contract for the Community Choice Aggregation Energy Project for electricity. They intend to bid out gas in another few months, but within the next week, probably by our next meeting, we'll have lots more to report about the process that will be undertaken, where anybody who is currently a customer of the default provider, Con Ed, that is, if you didn't switch to an alternative energy supplier, you'll be included in this project unless you choose to opt out. You'll be receiving notification of it in the mail. There's a 20-day period during which you could choose to opt out, and we'll have more information on all of that coming up soon. And then the last piece I wanted to mention is that, as you will see tonight in our agenda, we have a couple of resolutions that involve engaging BFJ Planning for a master plan update. We are having a kickoff meeting later this week to talk to the folks at BFJ Planning, which is a firm we've had a long relationship with, about the scope and sequence of the work, and there certainly will be a significant public component of that, so we'll have more to say on that soon as well. Anybody else have announcements to make? Oh, well, that was. Yes, exactly right. That is part of announcements. So,
that was the only one you didn't mention.
That's right. You want to why don't you describe it, Colleen?
Yeah. So the Westchester Coalition for Drug and Alcohol-Free Youth, which is a coalition that the village got involved in when Student Assistance Services helped us put together Pleasantville Strong, has put together an initiative that on April 20th, all the coalitions that want to participate will make it Teen Brain Health Day, which is to celebrate those youth who have decided not to try or utilize marijuana. So on 4/20, at 4/20, Student Assistance Services will put out a press release with a list of all the villages and towns that have decided to have that proclamation. And it's really to, again, commend the kids who have chosen to live a healthy lifestyle, but also to bring attention to the problems that all the villages and towns face with the rising use and abuse of mind-altering substances.
Thank you for that. Happy to issue that proclamation, and I think it's worth noting that not everybody, I think, is aware of the research that indicates that kids who engage in even modest use of mind-altering substances, including alcohol, at an early age can cause themselves trouble that can last their entire lives because of establishing an increased likelihood of having abuse problems later on.
Yeah, the longer you wait, the better off you are. And we had a doctor come to our last forum, Dr. Nackerson from White Plains, and she gave us some really frightening statistics about how many high school kids are smoking marijuana on a regular basis. And in Westchester, it's like 58% of 12th graders are smoking marijuana on a daily basis. So the numbers are really, really frightening. They obviously are not that for younger, but so this is an attempt to bring light to that, and to commend those kids who've chosen not to, because there's lots of kids that aren't, and that's important to celebrate as well. Right.
And it's also, I think, something people don't realize, that it's not just good behavior, bad behavior, abstinence, whatever, that you are affecting evolving brain chemistry, in some cases in ways that can't be reversed.
And so, since we're mentioning it, April 27th is our next Pleasantville Strong Forum. Good news is we're working on getting a website real soon, but we do have a Facebook page, and I would invite anyone to go to our Facebook page. We have great tips, great links for information, and what I would say about our meetings is it's a great place to come to try and get information from parents who've been through it, going through it. You know, maybe it's a couple years off, but it's a great place to share information. So we invite everyone to attend. That's at the library on the 27th at 7 o'clock.
Anybody else?
No.
Something else to report? Okay. Let's head to number 43, Steve.
Resolved that pre-check register dated March 28th, 2016, covering check numbers 82894 through 82994, has been reviewed, and they are hereby approved as listed below. From the general fund, the water fund, the capital fund, the refuse fund, and the pool fund, a total of $324,154.61.
Is there a second? Any questions?
Yeah, I just have one question. Patty, the training for Tyler Technologies, what is that for?
Munis dashboard, that is
Okay.
the higher level, use now that all of the department heads get.
Okay. All right, thank you.
And related question, the $1,200 to software consulting for the municity access and training for the Mount Pleasant Assessor's Office, has that happened?
It happened, yes.
So that's up and running, and
We gave the building department and the assessor's office in Mount Pleasant read-only access to our records here on an online real-time basis so they can keep their assessment roll up to date.
that would be a good thing. So, any
Right.
further questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion approved. Mindy, 44.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby approves the following budget amendments. A budget transfer of $5,000 from garage equipment to garage repair and maintenance. This is appropriating fund balance to the special purpose fund of $25,000, which is a transfer to the pool operating expense account. And an increase in revenue and expense for the capital fund, $58,921.54 from the Capital State Aid CHIPS program to the highway street resurfacing, and $25,000 from the pool transfer in for general to the pool repair and maintenance area for a total of $83,921.54.
Is there a second?
Second.
Comments or questions about the amendments? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion approved.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees of the Village of Pleasantville hereby authorizes the expenditure of up to $75,000 from Economic Development Reserves for professional planning services related to Central Business District Master Plan updating.
Second.
A few years back, we established a reserve fund for downtown economic development, and those monies are available for any number of uses related to downtown economic development. And I think, what do we have, about 103,000 or something, give or take?
122, actually.
Oh, really? So it's better than I thought.
Yeah, better than I thought, too. We
So-
earned some interest.
Yes. So 122,000. We are about to use 75,000 of it to fund the contract with BFJ Planning, which is the subject of the next resolution, and to undertake this targeted update of our master plan, which dates back to 1995. It focuses this targeted update focuses primarily on issues associated with the downtown and its environs, although there are a couple of issues that will engage a broader reach across the community. So it was a piece of the master plan that was particularly out of date in the current economic environment, and so that reserve fund allows us to fund this project with no impact on the tax rate. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion approved. 46, Joe.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby authorizes the village administrator to sign the agreement with BFJ for planning services with respect to updating the village's master plan.
Is there a second?
Second.
So, as I mentioned, BFJ Planning is a New York firm. They are the firm that we have engaged for a couple of other projects, and in fact, they were the planning firm that we engaged to represent the village side during the review of both the Toll Brothers project on Washington Avenue, which is being constructed right now, as well as the proposed benchmark project at the Methodist Church for Assisted Living. So BFJ Planning has given back a proposal that mirrors the outline that we created for the proposed new document. It amounts to a little less than $75,000. The phases being data collection and technical analysis, drafting plan chapters, the final plan and adoption, and the required public workshops as well as the public hearings. So we have worked out an arrangement with them whereby the village will take the lead in some sectors of this project and BFJ will take the lead in others to create a collaborative project that gets us to the finish line as fast as we can at a little expense as we can get. They've given us a draft project schedule from project kickoff to completion of roughly 8 months.
I'd just like to add that, this is such an important process for every municipality, and there's a lot of municipalities in Westchester, Rockland, and the surrounding counties doing the same thing. And updating this is vital to our future here in the village of Pleasantville. And with that being said, it's really important that the community embrace and get involved in the project and give their visions of how they see development in the village of Pleasantville, because the feedback from the community is the most important thing for any master plan, because it is something that speaks to our zoning, and it is something that speaks towards the type of community you would like to see grow and develop. Unlike the master plans that have been done in the past, ours is very, very old, and we don't really speak to what our environment is right now and to the areas where we need to focus on, and I think we've done that here. So it's really important that everybody get involved in this and pay attention, and because this is an exciting process. It could be something that's really fun to get involved in and give your view, and it has a major impact on your day-to-day life. Right. So get involved, and it's exciting. It's a great thing for us. So I hope everybody embraces this.
And more on that as the project develops, because we certainly will create some settings which will be our effort to make it as easy as possible for people to do just that. So, okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion approved. 47. Steve.
Okay. I'm very happy to read this one. Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby authorizes the mayor to sign the management agreement with the village administrator. I assume that the agreement will be included as part of the record. Would that be?
Yes.
Do I need to read it?
No.
Verbatim. Read everyone.
No, I'm asking. Right. So
Second.
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any one of you guys?
The aforementioned village administrator, Patty Dwyer, sitting right over there, has been an anchor for this village for a good long while, and it's our pleasure to approve this. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion approved. There's a codicil that says she has to stay here another 50 years.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I didn't mention
We
that.
didn't
Sorry
mention
about
that part. You
I
should have read that into the record.
She may not have been aware
Yeah,
of that
I
piece
know.
of it. So.
Can I amend
So
my
just
motion?
amend it, and I'll
Yeah.
second it.
Yeah.
Okay, 48.
48, Mindy.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees has reviewed the minutes of the meeting held on Monday, March 14th, 2016, and they are hereby approved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Comments or corrections on the minutes? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion approved. With that...
Oh, I can't vote on
Yeah,
those.
you can.
Okay.
It doesn't,
Yeah.
yeah, thank you, though.
That's the end of our resolutions, and we will be adjourning into an executive session. Just want to remind people again, the Sawmill River Parkway detour begins Sunday, April 10. You can go to our website at pleasantville-ny.gov soon, tomorrow maybe, to get a link if you want to get more information about it.
It'll be on tomorrow.
So just be aware of it. I think it'll work out reasonably well in this early going, but it's important for everybody to be aware that is on the radar screen. So with that said, can I have a motion to go into executive session to discuss the Metro North Railroad acquisition and easement agreement, the AT&T lease agreement, and advice of counsel on ADA regulations?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Good evening. Thank you.
Good
Next week, our organizational meeting, and our next regular meeting 2 weeks from today.